All right, I think we are on now on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Sorry about that. So I don't know what happened. Don't know. Okay. Hey guys, well, we're 13 minutes late, so we're going to start over. Even though I've got terrible sinus problems here and I just took a big swig of codeine, we're going to have fun tonight and start the show again. Here we go. Everybody just stand by. Everybody stand by. We're on all social media now. So, here we go.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WY7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P. Yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites. We learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew. It's always something cool and new. No matter.
All right, everybody, we are on right now. We had some kind of technical problem. We don't know what happened, but we're now on X, Facebook group W5KUB, and also on YouTube. We welcome you to Amateur Radio Roundtable. This is a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics, and a few other things. And we're really glad to have you tonight, especially if you're out there listening on world famous WBCQ International Shortwave Station on 7490. If you're out there listening, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. tom@w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. Hey, please join our Facebook group. It's just called W5KUB. It's a short name for it. You get there, or you can type in Amateur Radio Roundtable, but I wouldn't want to type all those letters. Just type W5KUB in a search in Facebook, and we'll approve you to go into our ham radio group. We've got 15,000 people in that group. It's a great group. We're also streaming on just about every audio podcast carrier out there, like iHeartRadio, iNet Radio, Google Play, all of them out there carry us. So we would love to hear from you if you're out there. We're all over the internet. Send us that email, tom@w5kub.com. If you would, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps us out a whole lot to advertise and get the word out to other people that are looking for this type of media, this type of show. And it really helps us a lot if you would do that. And it doesn't cost you anything, so please do that. Hey, we're going to have a great show tonight. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to just take a walk around and a look at the most recent, last week, I guess, the Arkansas River. Oh, wait a minute. Arkansas. Oh, man. My coding's kicking in, guys. We're going to look at the Arkansas River Valley Amateur Radio Foundation. That's it. We're going to look at that tonight and see their Hamfest. We went to it, and we actually had a table, and we sold quite a few things. I bought a few things, and I'm going to show you tonight what I bought. One item was my novice radio, my novice receiver that I had 62 years ago. We're going to talk about that. So we're going to do a walk around, and we're going to just talk about different things we see there. Hey, Hambot is with us tonight. Hambot is here, and he is going to give a prize away to somebody out there. And tonight, it's going to be the prize tonight is going to be a handy-talkie. So we're going to give a handy-talkie away to somebody out there in the chat room. Hambot will pick it. I don't pick them anymore. People used to argue with me. And you can't argue with Hambot, so that's the reason we got Hambot. So we're going to do that right after the walk around. We'll do that. And then I'm going to show you some of the things that I purchased, and how I had to repair them, and my novice radio and so forth. We've got Brett with us tonight. He's got something he might show us tonight if we have time. If not, we'll do it next week. And we have a special guest with us tonight from Russellville, Arkansas. John Evans, WB5BHS, is with us, and he's going to help us talk about the Hamfest. Again, sorry for everybody out there that had trouble getting on, or, well, you didn't have trouble getting on. We weren't on any of the social media sites. Don't know why. It was showing we were on, but we weren't. Anyway, if you want to be eligible for the prizes tonight, you've got to be in the W5KUB chat room. If you're in the YouTube chat room, that's a no-no. If you're in on Facebook, that's a no-no. The only place the Hambot is going to pick from tonight is out of the W5KUB chat room. So if you're not watching on W5KUB, just go there, and you'll see our video show on the left side, and you'll see a chat room on the right side. Just put your call letters in there, or your name, whatever you want to put in there. You can put Billy Joe Bill Bob in there if you want to. And then hit the join button, and you will be in a chat room, and you can actually talk with us, real time through the chat room. So let's just jump around here a minute. Let's just check out and see what Brett's got going. Brett, what do you got there, man? Brett, turn your mic on.
There we are. Okay, can you hear me now?
All right. I want everybody to know that was not my fault on this end. Okay? I'm not going to take responsibility for that.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, Brett.
This thing muted me. Sorry about that. Anyway, hello from Laramie, Wyoming. We are recovering from the most incredible bout of wind that we have had in years. It's windy in Wyoming all the time, but this past week we had gusts exceeding 100 miles per hour. Literally could knock you down, and I had to be out in it because some of my radio equipment failed, and I needed to fix it. The power failed, and I needed to put out generators to keep things going for the internet service provider that I run. And so I was out there being blown around by the wind. I'm very glad that it's starting to slack off now. What we're going to get now during the next week, at least in Wyoming, is record level heat. It's only March, and we're going to have summer-like weather here, so that's going to be quite something. I'm going to take advantage of the summer-like weather to get up on rooftops, to work on my antennas, to work on some of my electronic equipment, and I have some things to show off, some products to show off that I've discovered that seem to be working rather well to help me do that, especially for equipment that's out in the cold, out in the cabinet, out in the elements. And so I can do that later in the program if we have time.
Okay, well, very good. Well, guys, tonight let's just jump on into this thing, because we don't have a deadline that we have to get off, but we're about 15 minutes late. I think somebody timed us. We're 13 minutes late or something like that. Anyway, let's just jump right into the Hamfest here. I call it the Russellville Hamfest. I don't know if anybody else does or not. But we're gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna take a look at it and just discuss it here. But first, I want to just talk to John. John's my buddy from Russellville. John Evans, WB5BHS. Hey, John, how you doing over there, man, in Russellville? Did y'all get any wind this week? We got yesterday, 2 days ago. We were supposed to get gusts up to 70 miles an hour and hail and all that, but it kind of fizzled out. We didn't get that. It missed us. How did you guys survive?
We didn't have too bad. The Russellville area, it kind of skirted around us, but as it went further east, it had a little bit more intense wind. I think they had like 50 mile an hour wind up by Walnut Ridge. So, but through the Russellville area, it just kind of skirted us around us, and we were just perfect.
Well, that's good, and it kind of skirted around us too. There were some tornadoes and a lot of wind east of here in Tennessee, but it kind of missed us. I don't know. It generally kind of misses us. We usually don't get the bad stuff there. Well, anyway, we had a fun time coming over Russellville. It wasn't last week. It was I guess the weekend before. We had the I'm gonna try to say it again. Arkansas River Valley Amateur Radio Foundation Hamfest. Is that what it's called, John?
Well, thank you for having me. Well, actually, since we moved it to Dardanelle, we've been going by the Arkansas River Valley Hamfest since it's in Dardanelle or Yell County. But
All right.
it's just the names. But we've had the Hamfest approaching 30 years, been the Russellville Hamfest and the Arvarf Hamfest and Arkansas River Valley Hamfest and Arkansas River Valley Amateur Radio Foundation. So you got the idea. People know who we are.
All right, and I guess your club puts that on. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Now I was a member of that club. I guess it's the same. I don't know if it's the same club or not, but I went to college over there back last century. I was there in 1966 through 1969, and I was a member of the ham club there, and we met up in the top of the courthouse in the jail. I think that's where we met. Now, I don't remember anybody there, hardly, and I don't remember going to any Hamfest. I don't know if we had any Hamfest 60-something years ago or not.
No, but back when you were coming, see, Grady Hudlow, K5OES was there, Dick Spencer, WA5LKB, Harry Kastner, K5OJB. I'm not going to name everybody. Some of those may ring a bell with you.
Yeah,
Bill Davis.
I remember Harry and Dick, Dick and Harry and Tom, Dick and Harry. Yeah, there was Tom. I'm Tom. I was Tom there. Dick was there and Harry was there. Tom, Dick, and Harry. Now, I do remember Harry and I remember Dick, since you mentioned their names.
And Cliff Jennings, K5AXP.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we had a good time back then, and that was a long time ago. But I'm glad to see the club is still doing well, and you guys put on a great Hamfest there. And how long you've been doing the Hamfest? 30 years?
We're approaching 30 years.
Well, that's great, man. And you had a great facility. We'll see that in just a minute in some of the pictures. So what we're going to do, John, is we're going to just queue up these pictures, and we're going to do an actual walk around, just like we're there. Brett, if you see something, yell. If you want to comment on it, you do the same thing, John, and I'll do the same thing. We got right out of, I don't know, close to 100 pictures here, and after that, we're going to give away a handy talkie. So here, let's jump right into the Hamfest. Let's jump right into it now. Let's see here. Okay. So, first thing I want to say is this is outside the building there. We have the Hamfest. Now, this is a sidewalk. The sidewalk goes through the ditch, the drain. Look at that. That is the water. That is a ditch. But the sidewalk goes downhill, and it goes through there, and it comes up on the other side. I've never seen anything like it before. There it is on the side where the Hamfest was. Now, John, did you know it did that? John, I'm not getting your audio. Did you mute yourself? Let me see.
No, this reminds me of Houston, Texas, where they have jogging paths along the bayous, and they go under the bridges like that.
Okay, I got to fix his audio. Let's see, number 50. Okay, I got to fix this audio real quick where he's on all the time. So let me fix that.
Okay.
Okay, automatically play. I don't want to mix it. Let's see. Okay, John, can you hear me now? Still don't have John. Let's see. 50. All right. Let's see. Audio. Let's see if that'll work. John, I'm sure it'll work now. Say something.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's working now. Hang on. Let me change shots here. And, okay. I think it's working, John. Okay, John, did you know that sidewalk went through the storm drain?
No, I didn't. I've never went that way. I park in the far parking lot, and I just walk across the little bridge.
Well, I thought that was pretty unique. When we started to unload the stuff there, we followed the sidewalk, and it does go under the highway there, but that's also the ditch goes under the highway there. Now, I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that's kind of interesting. I don't know. Okay, let's continue here. Here we go.
Yep.
All right. Hey, guys, this is a facility that we were in. John, what's the name of this place?
That's called the Dardanelle Community Center.
All right. Looks like it's used for different things. Of course, basketball. It was nice, temperature controlled, and it did rain that day. And so we were in the dry. It looks like it's got nice lighting. We were, and hey, the interesting thing about this, you guys have got to make us an associate member now. We got there at 3 o'clock, and I saw an internal email from you guys where at 3 o'clock you were going to start setting up the tables. And then people could come in at 5 o'clock and bring their equipment in. Well, we snuck in at 3 o'clock just to say hi, and nobody was there. And the lady told us we can go ahead and start setting up. And I said, well, we're really not them. We shouldn't set up. We did start getting a few tables out. And then Charles finally came. Charles got there, and he brought a tape measure, and we helped Charles. In fact, Charles did the tape measure, and my friend and I that came to visit, we set up about 80% of the tables, just us, because your members didn't come at 3 o'clock to set up. Oh, man. Okay, anyway. So either a statue of us out front, or you can make us associate members, okay? All right.
We can do that.
All right, very good. I prefer the statue, but okay. All right, so anyway, let's see. Yeah, there are the tables that we set up. And, of course, we didn't take them down. We left when it was over with. All right. But there are the tables right here. It was a nice Hamfest. Okay. Here's over in our little corner right here. We instead of putting a banner up this year, we just kind of put up a little sign right there. I don't know if anybody saw the sign or not, but how you like that AI picture of me right there? I look at least 3 years younger. I don't know. Okay.
Oh, you're looking like a spring chicken there.
That's right.
Tom.
I look at least 3 years younger there, guys. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now, hey, this is our table here. This is a few things we brought. Now, that's 3 solar panels. I marked them down at $45. Nobody bought them. I couldn't believe nobody buy solar panels for $45. And it ended up, my buddy that came with me, we took them back, and he took them home. He wanted them, so I gave them to him, So, that's one of the items. This is kind of our corner right there. We're kind of separate from you guys a little bit, and we're starting to put stuff out on our table there. There's my friend Ed, and a couple things we're laying out. Let's get to some of the good stuff here. Here's a Morse code idea. I can't believe that didn't sell. That's a commercial Morse code idea. I wanted $25 for it. I was actually selling it. If people offered me $5, I was selling everything, man. But I don't know why this didn't sell. But
yeah, so Tom, do those play audio and
no, this is CW. This is a CW only.
Oh yeah. Now I'm just wondering whether they play audio or whether they actually come out like a code key.
Yeah, it's CW only. All right. Now here's something good I brought. You could have this for $5 to $10. I don't know if that's years or money, but anyway, I sold it. So how you like it, Brett? You probably would like something like that, right? For $5.
Maybe I could use it to see how much power I'm wasting. Yeah.
and I've got the socket and everything that it sets in, so it was a complete unit here for $5. Let's see. You guys try to watch the chat room too if you can. I'll take a look every now and then. All right. So hey, I didn't want to give that up, but you know what? I haven't used that in years. In the 1970s, I built a repeater in a little repeater house, and I had that inside the repeater house in line, and I never used it for anything. All right. I had a lot of brand new NMO cables, with the NMO and the gasket and all that stuff. There's a few there that had some 800 meg antennas on it, but I was just selling basically the coax with the NMO connectors on the ends. Those were Motorola.
Are those the kind you bolt to the roof of your car?
No, you don't bolt them. You don't bolt them. It's the NMO. You unscrew that ring, and you drill a small hole, and you poke it through the hole, and you screw that ring back on it. They're true in Motorola NMOs. All right. Hey, I took some UPSs there. I thought somebody would take a UPS. I would have took $5 for them, but nobody made me an offer on them. And one of them, I actually had brought heavy gauge wire out the back where you could put that on a big battery. The little battery inside the UPSer, it's made only to run long enough you can turn your computer off. Maybe 10 minutes. But I had those. I brought the power out the back where you could hook it to a 100-pound battery, and that sucker would run 6 or 8 hours easy, without going down. Anyway, nobody wanted them. I don't know why. Don't know why. I took my loop over there. I think I sold my loop for $10, $15. I don't know. That capacitor on the bottom right there sells for $75. Man. Anyway.
Is that a vacuum capacitor?
No, it's not vacuum, but it's butterfly. Anyway, I don't have my loop anymore. But guess what? It's been in the way out there for years. John, you should have got that, John. You.
I should have, and I feel guilty because I didn't. Because you had the motor attached to the capacitor, so I could have remotely tuned that, and I just didn't buy it.
That's right. That came with the motor, and I have a motor on here, a little 12-volt motor. You could reverse, and you could actually tune it remotely, through a little 12-volt supply. Anyway, those guys bought it. Hope they're having fun with it. I never used it. Let's see what we got. I don't know these people. Hey, if you look straight across, there's the hot dog stand, right straight across. Now, I don't know if they didn't bring any potato chips or they ran out of potato chips. All they had was Doritos. I was a little disappointed here because I wanted chips. But anyway, I did eat a hot dog.
They didn't have any candy bars either. I talked to them about it.
Well, I brought plenty of candy bars. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Let me check.
Well, the number one thing I like to see from the concession stand is coffee. Because usually I'm up at 5, 6 a.m. to drive to the Hamfest, and I need caffeine by the time I get there.
Yeah. K9SZX came up with a good idea. The power meter that I sold, he said someone needs to make a lamp out of that. That would have been so cool. I want that meter back. I want to build a lamp for the living room with the meter at the base of it. That's what oh, man. One of these
the meter to run and tell you how much power the lamp is using?
Yeah, it would. All right, this is after the thing starts getting into swing here. Doors are open. People are coming in. And let's just look. I tried to get prices on some of these pictures, but I didn't do a very good job.
So what model of Kenwood is that?
I don't know. The photographer did not a good job here. And he really did a bad job there. You can get that thing for $10, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Huh. All right,
$30 for the HT isn't bad.
There's some Swan equipment there. The old Swan. I never really got into Swan myself, but I knew some people back early days that had it.
That's a 700-watt radio. That's a desktop, ran 700 watts.
It's a what?
That's pretty killer back in the day.
It's a what?
That Swan 700 Charlie X-ray, that radio runs 700 watts.
You're kidding me. You must
no, that's it. That's PEP input, because that's how they measured it back then. But yeah, that's a 700-watt radio. Desktop.
I'm sure it probably had those sweet
700 watts.
Oh, that seems awful lot. But anyway, well, maybe I should have got it then. I don't know. All right.
That's quite
There's
something.
plenty of HTs, and this has been around forever at Hamfest. You want an HT? Reach in the box, Pick you out one. Well, good luck on trying to get those suckers to work, But back in the early days, we always there wasn't any really HTs to buy. We would use the Motorola's. We'd get these Motorola 200, the HT 200 or the HT 220. The 220 was a little small HT, and you had to put crystals in them. Oh man, they were hard to work on. And look at that. That's something.
So that goes with all of the HTs.
That's something Brett would probably like.
I don't have a battalion of people to hand the HTs out to, but it would be nice if I did.
Oh man. Just imagine, probably every one of them are on different frequencies too. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're synthesized crystal. I have no idea which one that is particularly. Let's see. Let me check the chat room here again. Okay. All right. Oh, look at there, more. Oh, gee. Find you a back to match it, I don't know if you'd ever find a battery to go in one or not. Wow. This guy looks like he's making tower tilt-over brackets. I think that looks like that's what that is. The tower would sit on those three legs, and it would lay
That's
flat
correct.
like that. Yeah, and
That-
look,
that's,
you got a little place that you can put a lock through right there, and so nobody can tilt it over on you. That's kind of cool.
Right, that's Kim Woodson. He lives over at in Yale County, and he makes those. And look, that's like 1.25 inch steel. You're going to tear the tower up before you tear his base up.
Yeah, I was going to say that's some pretty heavy stuff right there that he's got. Yeah. Now these guys right here, W5OLA. I've got the picture upside down. I can't turn it right now. They make these coils here. They turn that thing. I talked to them. They turn it in a lathe and then they wind it. And their club makes these for your mobile antenna, and they sell them. So if you're interested in a coil like it, W5OLA.org, I think. You might check with them there.
So those are HF loading coils?
Yeah. Lots of power cables wound up neatly. If you need, power wire or something for your radio, you got them here.
No.
I can't tell what. I don't know what the green is. I forget.
The green bags look like power splitters
All
for
right.
an outlet. Yeah.
Okay. I need to start looking at my big monitor. I've been looking at the little monitor here. I can see more on the big one. All right. Hey, if you wanted a podium with a built-in microphone, here you go, man. This would be cool right here. I should have bought that. Man. Well, I probably wouldn't have used it, though.
Be the speaker of the house.
It's got, looks like got the amp built in. You got your volume and your tone and all that. You got the microphone there on it, so that might be kind of cool. Oh, coax, radios.
Classic IC 7100.
Yeah.
And then next to it, I can't make out the part number.
Oh, I don't know. It's a.
Looks like another ICOM,
It's
but
a
I
mobile,
can't tell.
It's a mobile rig. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do we got here? 575. What are we looking at? I can't tell. I took it at an angle.
Looks like a 756.
Is it? I was trying to get the price on these too, so people could see what the prices were going for at the Hamfest. And I'm not sure the angle is the best shot or not. They got a 7300 next to it there. A lot of people are getting rid of their 7300s because the 7300 Mark II's come out. I don't know if it's that much better of a radio, to tell you the truth, But the 7300 Mark II does have the internet connection to it, and you can put an external monitor on it where you cannot put it on the regular 7300. So the 7300 now, you can still buy them new. They're around 800. This guy's selling this one for I don't know what. The 7300 Mark II is surprising me. It's going for like $1,400 now. It's way up there. 7300. He wants six. Looks like 680. 680 for it.
Yeah.
And
As I understand it, the Mark II is very comparable to some of the newer ratio Yaesus like the 710.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks like, to the left of it, it looks like a SWR meter. It may be. It kind of looks similar to one I've got here. Let's see. No. I need to get me another one for my other radio. There we go. It looks like a dummy load. This is an old one. You can tell it's got a remote meter on it. Dummy load. I don't know how much.
Has the radiator grill on it.
Yeah, it does. It does. Look, it's probably, I was going to say that probably homemade. I don't know. Homebrew.
That looks like a homebrew.
But the meter doesn't look that homebrew because it's got a plate on the front. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to guess that's
All right.
manufactured.
So Mark, somebody said we are gone. Are people still still watching the show tonight? I want to make sure we're still on. Still on. Let's see. Let me go to Facebook. Let me go to.
I see you live on X.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're on X. And I don't know. I think we're live on Facebook. I don't know about YouTube. Is anybody still watching on YouTube? Okay, there's Clifton says we're still on YouTube. All right, so you know what? There may be some internet problems tonight because some people are saying that we're gone now on YouTube, but then we've got other people saying YouTube is okay. So we may have some issues on the internet tonight. I don't think we have the issue here. All right, let's keep going here. Hey, look at this old Hickok. Now, Hickok was a famous brand for test equipment back in the 60s. I can remember them. This is a signal generator here. I haven't seen many at all at Hamfest or anywhere. I don't even know if they're still in business. But that's an old Hickok signal generator right there. Next to it is
the claim to fame on this one is, if you look at the very bottom, it's got the old microphone style, so you can put a microphone or external modulation in that to modulate the signal that it puts out.
I see that. Yeah. You sure could. That'd be that's an interesting. All right, so
people.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was going to say, people in antique radios buy these, and then what they do is that they'll run their MP3 player of their antique radio, all their shows, their radio shows, classic radio. They'll run that old time radio. They'll run that into that modulated input, and when it comes out, and they play it over the air for all their antique radios, and it sounds just like you're listening in the 30s and the 40s.
Well, yeah, in fact, when I was in college here, I had a signal generator, an ICO signal generator. It had the same mic connection for modulation. And we actually used that to put our first radio station on there at Arkansas Tech, and it was called KRUD. And that's what we used. We used that until we built up a 6146 transmitter, which got out a little bit better. I can't talk too much. I don't know about the statute of limitations. I don't know when they run out, but I don't know when they run out. But that was at least 60. That was about 60 years ago. Hopefully they've run out by now. If they have, I can tell you a little bit more details on that. All right.
I think Part 15 lets you put out a certain number of milliwatts.
Yeah. What was that?
I think Part 15 lets you transmit on the AM and FM bands, but it has to be under a certain number of milliwatts, and your antenna can't be too high.
Well, and you can't exceed a certain field strength over so many feet, and it isn't very far, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know. They may have changed the rules since then, but, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I just remember they had a safe harbor where if you could measure the current coming in and it wasn't too much, then you were okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, 6146 back then didn't run but about 90 watts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can't go very far with a long wire on it, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. This looks like, this is an old case right here. I think those are CW tapes, maybe?
Yes, the behind it is the code practice machine
Yeah.
for
All right,
teaching
now,
Morse code.
Yeah. Now, if you look right to the left, you'll see an ICO signal generator. And what John was talking about, if you look, that mic connector is right there. That's what we use, that same model right there. In fact, I sold one of those at the Russellville Hamfest. I sold that and the matching signal. That's the signal generator. That and the matching signal tracer. And maybe we'll see a picture here in a minute. But I sold both of those, $10 a piece. This guy has his marked for $10, so I guess I marked mine about right. I built those in 1964, I think. So that was a long time ago. There's another picture of the signal generator right there in the center, and then we got a sweep generator next to it. Everything's going for this is on Andre's table, I think. Maybe not, but everything there is marked $10. Man, there were some good prices at Andre's table. I'll just say that. I don't know if Andre's watching. Andre, are you watching tonight? If you are, say hello in the chat room. Andre, say hello. All right, let me just make an announcement again. If you just joined us, we're going to be giving away a handy-talkie tonight after this segment to some lucky viewer. You've got to be in the W5KUB chat room. That's where Hambot's going to pick the winner from. So if you're not in our chat room and you want to be eligible for the prize, just go there. And
you should tell them where it is.
And I'm looking. Somebody said Hambot left the room already. I have to check and see why Hambot left the room. But Hambot's going to pick a name. You got to be in the W5KUB chat room. And if you go to W5KUB.com, you'll see this video on the left side. You may have to hit the play button. And then if you're not current, you may have to move the little slider to get current. I don't know where it's going to start. And also on the right side is our chat room. Just put your call letters in there or your name in there. Whatever you want to be called. If you want to be called Billy Joe Bill Bob, just type that in there. And then hit the join, and you'll be in the chat room. So that's where you got to be. All right. Back to our walk around here. Let's see. All right. Let's go back to the chat room. I was reading the chat room. Let's go back to the show here. All right. This guy here, interesting. He had a Alpha. What's that? A 9500. That's a nice amplifier, guys. And I think he wanted 3,000. I think it was 3,000 for that. Maybe, yeah, it was 3,000 for that. And right next to it, he had another amp, which was the Alpha 86. Now, that's the same amp I've got here. One of the amps I've got here, the Alpha 86, and that's a great amplifier. It's legal limit out, and I think he wanted 1,500 for it. And I was lucky enough 2 or 3 years ago. I bought my Alpha 86 for $600, and I took a MFJ 4811 amp to the Hamfest. I sold it for $600, and I bought this amp for $600 right here, which was a big upgrade for me, you know. Oh, let's see. Canadian 2A. When I was in the military, this was the deal here, man. This is what we had. I loved them, This was a great sideband tube radio back then, man. KDM2A.
Did the military use these on the ham bands or other bands or?
Well, I don't remember what bands. I think they had the standard ham bands in there, but I think the military somehow they used them out of band, just they're pretty close to the band. So I don't remember a lot of. I didn't operate it that much. I wasn't in the operator part of this. I was in the repair part of it, of some other equipment.
Many of the Mars stations all use the Collins gear, Collins S line, and the KWM2s, and
Yeah.
KWM2A was all the Mars stations.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty radio. I try to get the price, but I can't read it. I don't know. Can anybody make that thing out there?
Seems like it's 1,200.
That's what I'm guessing. 1,200. I think that's a little high. I've seen those, especially. There's a guy that comes to Huntsville. He brings a ton of these Collins radios, and he sells them anywhere from $400 up. I think that's a little high, but maybe it's sentimental to the guy. I have no idea. 900 megahertz. I wonder if that's in the 900 ham band. Does a ham have a 900? I guess they do.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we do.
We have privileges on the ISM band, along with everybody and everything else.
Yeah, I don't think we have an 800, do we?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, it's not. We've got.
They might actually. I think that the ham portion of the spectrum actually goes down a little bit below 900, but not much.
Yeah, it might. All right. Well, that's a nice, pretty clean. What's that? Realistic? Realistic. DX302. Got a nice layout. It's a pretty good looking little receiver. It's digital readout, megacycles, kilohertz. If you look at the knobs, you can tell they're little plastic knobs. That's kind of a little turn off right there. But still, the overall radio looks beautiful, man. It's a nice radio.
Yeah.
That'd be nice for like a shortwave listener. Somebody wanted to get started in shortwave listening. That'd be a good radio for them.
Yes, that was a good SWO radio, although the DX160 was sort of the classic. This one had a strange design inside. It was it was part superhet and part sort of regenerative. It was an interesting circuit.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what we're looking at here. Just kind of generally the part. This is about half the room right here, and of course I don't recognize anybody here. John might know some of these. I'm sure he knows some of these people for sure.
The gal in red, that's Steve Green's wife. If you remember W5KUT, that's his new wife.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I think we went by this table a few minutes ago. There's it looks like a 900 megahertz Yagi there. And,
Yep, that looks like a long one too. That might probably be about 15 dB of gain.
Yeah, it's a long one for sure.
I've always wondered why they. I've always wondered why they set up those long Yagis so that they're mounted at the end instead of in the middle. That makes them really unbalanced. But anyway, yes, I see the MFJ supply.
75 amps, so that would be cool. I think that's a kilowatt dummy load to the right of it there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. That was Dennis Schaefer's. He was selling that for another, for Bob. And the 1,500 watts for like 10 seconds, and 300 watts was right around 35 or 40 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right. I'll say hello to Anthony out there at KG5JPU. He joined us earlier. Howdy. All right, yeah, the 75 amp power supply. I'm guessing that's for some of their, probably their solid state amplifiers, probably. Heil headsets, look at that. I don't know what he wanted for them, but they look nice. They look nice. Now,
You notice the Morse code key you strap to your thigh, so when you're driving or flying your plane, you can send CW.
oh, it's got the little clip there. It goes around your leg, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yep. All right, so here we go. Now, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a field strength meter. I don't know. It's a meter. It's got an antenna on it. I'm assuming it's a field strength meter. Don't know. All right. Here's a nice Dentron high power tuner, $50. That's a good price for a high power tuner right there. Pretty simple, manual tuning. You can't beat it. Looks like you've got the 2 caps inductor there. I'm guessing that's probably a T network, a T tuner. That's cool. Now, I think these belong to Charles. These are cameras I looked at, and I don't know if Charles is in the chat room tonight or not, but Charles, I almost bought these, Charles, for my security system, but these are IP cameras there. He only wanted $20 for it. I could probably talk Charles down maybe $5. I don't know, man. This Hamfest was in in Dardanelle, Arkansas. It's just right outside of Russellville, Arkansas. That's over in western Arkansas. It's about 200 miles east of west of Memphis. 200 miles west of Memphis, probably 70, 80 miles northwest of Little Rock, I'm guessing. John, did I get that near that? Was I close?
You're right on it. You're right on it.
Well, I drove it many times when I went to school over there. In fact, did you know, John, when I went to school over there, the interstate, most of the interstate wasn't even built yet from there back to Memphis. I had to take Highway 64, man, through Ball Knob and all those little places. Wow.
That's right. You could go to Conway and then get on it and get to Little Rock there for a while, but
yeah. Well, it was nice when it was finished. You know, it was nice when it was finished. This is at Charles' table. I don't know if Charles is in here or not. Let's see.
No. 2-meter amplifier. That's useful.
Yeah, Charles, a 2-meter amp, and is that a rotator controller? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, high gain.
Yeah. Okay. And just a table or two down from Charles, we could get cookies and cake there. They didn't have any potato chips, but they had cookies and cake down there.
You get your sugar fix
That was
anyway.
from the Arkansas Razorback net.
Oh, was it?
Susie from the Arkansas Razorback net had the snacks.
Okay. Now this, you can't tell much about this, but that's a camera. If you look to the kind of the top right, the thing sticking down, that's actually the camera right there, and it's got little lights around it. That goes on your computer. You wanted $100 for it? I'm not sure about that. Might be a little high.
You could webcast with that.
I don't know. What's that? It's 150 power stand with camera, HDMI. Yeah, okay. Here we go, a heat kit. Love this stuff, man. That's the, what's that? That's the 220. Yeah, that's the 220. That's the high powered. That
So
one
which tubes did that take?
That one has
3500s.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
When he said what tubes does it takes a 3500 Zs.
Does it? Okay, and it must take 2 of them. And if you look at the note there, they're matchlet. They're matchlet tubes. You, I guess if I'm reading it right. $800. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
they're matched.
Yeah, what?
They're matched tubes, and then the Halbach mods. That's the soft key. So when you turn it on, it slowly brings it up, and
Yeah.
the guy has several mods that in his suite of mods made strictly for the 220 and the L4B.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so that's a nice amplifier. The 220 is a nice amplifier, especially with those. What did you say it had in 3-500s?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice tube, and that's a legal limit amplifier there. The SB200 is the smaller one. I think it's got something like 811s or 572Bs in there, and it runs less power, but it's still good. But this is a good amplifier there, and that's a good price for that power range of amplifiers if it's working, and I think it probably was. All right. Well, MFJ's gone out of business. Here's the MFJ 259B antenna analyzer. Looks like it's in good shape. He looks like he's taking good care of it. Uh,
Now that's
I
the
don't know.
B. I think how high does that go? What's the highest frequency on it? I
I've
think it
got.
goes up to VHF.
It'll do UHF too. But I think it skips the 220 band if I'm not mistaken. I've got one of those over on a workbench over there, but it skips 220. And well, you can see the scale down there.
Yeah, I
Look
thought
at the
only the
knob.
C went to UHF.
I'm sorry.
I thought only the C went and above went to
No,
UHF.
look at the switch, the frequency switch on it down there.
Yeah. Okay, I
47
see
looks like
170 is the highest.
that's 114 and 170? Well, maybe. Looks like that only goes up to 170.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, but I got the C. I own the C, and the reason why I bought the C was because it had UHF, and the early ones didn't seem to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that one you're talking about, it goes into the UHF, but it skips the 220 band, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. Interesting. All right. Now look at this. Here's a VN8, $300. That must be an awful special VN8 right there. I mean, it looks bigger. I mean, I don't know. That's interesting. It probably does the same thing the smaller VNAs do, I'm sure.
Is that about a 6-inch diagonal screen?
Maybe so. I just bought that new VNA here. I think it's got a 4-inch screen. I think I paid about $112 for it, something like that. So anyway, yeah. Well, anyway, a lot of people are going with VNAs now instead of the things like the MFJ stuff. It just does so much more now than these MFJ deals. All right. Hey, welcome to AJ5SJ. He said he finally figured out the chat room. It shouldn't be real difficult it's hard for, a blind person. He's blind. Okay. But it's fun. Okay. Hey, welcome. Glad you were able to get into the chat room. And Anthony, JPU, you're online. Okay. All right, let's see. We got some more pictures to go. This is an IFR. IFR is a brand. This is like a communications a test set. I've had several of them over the years, much more modern than this one. This will have a spectrum analyzer in it. It'll also have a signal generator in it. It'll have a scope, an O-scope built into it, deviation meter. It has all those things in it. That's a pretty steep price, $1,000 for this model here. I had a couple of IFRs here that our company basically junked out, and I remember buying it new. It was like $15,000 new, but it finally went bad on me. I tried to find somebody that would work on them and fix them, but if you send those things in to have them repaired and calibrated, it almost costs you $1,000. It ain't cheap. So I went with some other. Mainly, I was interested in the a spectrum analyzer, and I actually bought one. I bought that Rego or whatever it's called. Okay, that's a steep. I think that's a steep price on it, but it does a lot. What do we got here? This is a Kenwood 8. Is it an 830 maybe? It kind of looks like it looks like an upgrade from the 820, and the tuner on the left looks a little newer than the 820 tuner. I think this is the 830, the Kenwood TS 830. I had the whole setup here. I had the Kenwood 820, the antenna tuner, the matching speaker, and something else. And I finally sold that to a collector that wanted it.
That's Pat Thomas from the Faulkner County Amateur Radio Club that's sitting there behind it.
Okay, good. There's another name. Maybe he's watching. Who knows? All right. Well, here we go. We got Glenn right here. Now, guys, I want to tell you, the reason Glenn's not on here, when we went to Wednesday nights, Glenn couldn't make it. He has a conflict on Wednesday nights, so he's not here, but we've made an offer to Glenn that anytime he has a break, he can join us, or he can record something, and we will put the segment on the show. That's why Glenn is not here. Let's see what we got. Glenn had he had in the background here, he had a drone he's trying to sell. He's never flown it. He won that at the Memphis Hamfest, and he's never flown it, trying to get rid of it here. And he's got some rotors here. And let's see. There's a better picture of Glenn right there holding up his drone. And
that's a pretty looking drone.
Yeah, it's a nice looking drone. The only thing, I don't like the drones where you have to use your phone to monitor them. If I get a drone, I'm going to get one that comes with this, the screen and monitor, instead of having to, finagle with the phone all the time, And I just saw on the news where they're cracking down. The government's cracking down even tougher now on drone operators, so it's gonna get pretty tight. There's a lot of restrictions on them right now. I don't think you can fly them higher than 200 feet above an object right now. I think it's right. And you got to be careful flying it over people and just all kinds of stuff. But anyway, Glenn didn't sell hardly anything. He said he almost took everything back home with him. So he's still got the drone. I'm sure it'll be at the next Hamfest. There's some more stuff for Glenn. Right there. Meters. I love meters. I love building stuff. I like putting these analog meters in it. Wow. Man, look at that bottom meter. $1. $1. Oh, that's out of a military. It looks like it's out of one of those military ohm meters. The scale's ohms, but it also has the scale on there. You can make it read voltage and so forth. In fact, you can actually change the scale if you wanted to.
Yeah, I wonder how many. They obviously have a voltage in mind if they're going to measure ohms with the meter.
Yeah, well, everything is shunted across there. For each resistance scale, you'd have a different internal resistor, and also different internal shunts for like 5 volts, 50 volts, 500 volts, and so forth. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
This, guys, I don't know if does anybody in the chat room know what it is? I know what it is. I borrowed one at one time. This is a Central Electronics 20A. This was one of the very first sideband radios. This company made a model called a 10B, I think. 10B, they may have made a 10A. They made a 10B, and this is a 20A exciter, and you can see it's got all the little knobs for phasing and different things. This actually transmitted a sideband signal, so this is 1950s type stuff. Let's see what the note says on top. 1954.
It says carrier null.
Yeah, you null out the carrier with it. And in 1954, it says it works. And so this was one of the first sideband rigs.
Now, is that a cat's eye in the middle there?
Is that a what? Yeah, yeah, it was an eye. Yeah, I don't remember. I never really put it on the air. I was always borrowing or getting stuff from other hams and playing with it, but I never put it on the air. But I'm sure
That belonged to Nick. I was going to say that belonged to Nick Kennedy, WA5BDU. He bought that at the Arkansas River Valley Hamfest about 2 or 3 years ago. Played with it all this time, made contacts, and now he's bringing it to sell it to make room for another boat anchor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's an oldie for sure. Trying to get Hambot back in here. He left us a while ago. Let's see if he'll join us here in a few minutes. Okay, let's continue here real quick. And there's an old Johnson Adventurer. I don't remember the model number Adventurer, but this is it had an 807 tube in it, 807. So a single 807 tube. That's a surplus military tube, and that tube actually had a 6-volt filament. Now, guys, for you old timers, there was a tube similar to the 807. It was called a 1625. The 1625. The only difference between the 807 was it had a 12-volt filament instead of a 6-volt filament. So that was the thing. Let's see if Hambot's here. Okay. We'll see if Hambot joins us. He's still not with us, and trying to wake him up there because we're getting close to giving a prize away. Now, let me make the announcement again. If you want to win the prize tonight, you got to be in the W5KUB.com chat room. That's where Hambot looks. That's where Hambot's going to pick a name. And Hambot's going to pick a name out of that chat room, and you have to answer it within 60 seconds. If you don't say, I'm here, yes, hello, thanks, I won. If you just don't say something, Hambot will say, you're not here. So you have to say something. I'll explain this more after this segment here. But you got to be in the W5KUB chat room to be eligible to win. All right. 807 right there. Novice rig, cool novice rig. And we're back looking around, kind of crisscross there in the Hamfest. Don't see anything special. The announcer up front there, and they would post the winners' names.
Larry Penapet, KF5MLP, was the master of ceremonies making the announcements.
All right. And there he
standing
is. Standing
right there
in the blue shirt. Blue shirt, yep. All right. QCWA. I don't even know what that is. What is a QCWA?
Quarter Century Wireless Association. There's chapters all over the country.
Right.
These guys are trying to get one started in Arkansas. Another one started in Arkansas. The other one fizzled out.
All right. I knew that. All right. Well, Hambot did join, so Hambot is alive and well. All right. Hey, antenna switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $200. You know what? It's worth $200 because if you run 6 runs of coax out, you're going to spend $350 probably. So that's worth it. But that is a very simple switch to build, antenna switch to build, and we built one on the show here before, and we featured it here, and we did a 7-port because we ran a Ethernet cable out. Cat 5 type cable. It's got 8 connectors, 1 common and 7 plus 7. So we were able to switch 7 antennas with it.
Is that weatherproof, or do you need to put that one in a cabinet?
Well, I would say that one right there, I would weatherproof that one somehow. I'd put it under something or plastic cover or something. You know, ours is actually was built in a military box that was weatherproof. It had a rubber gasket, and the plate it clamped on real tight. So ours was waterproof. I don't know about the connectors. I would still try to put it in a non-wet location. But that's probably worth $200. And there we got a Jetstream power supply. Interesting.
Okay. 7 amps.
It's got a DC adjust.
Okay.
Okay. Some of the newer Jetstreams actually have a pot on the front that you can change the frequency. You know, these switching power supplies are run various different frequencies instead of the 60 cycle. And because of that, sometimes they can generate interference to your radio. And some of the newer Jetstreams have a knob where you can actually kind of tune that frequency off if it's causing you some problems. And here we go. Larson antennas. Look like you got one for every band there. 80, 40, 20, 15. I used to have a set just like this. I think Mark P in the chat room ended up with all my Larson antennas. I think I never really ran mobile. I don't think I tried it a couple times, but
yeah.
You know,
what's
back
that
then,
keyer at the far right of the screen?
Oh no,
There's something that says the Morse machine.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a keyer, and it's also a trainer. It teaches you Morse code. It starts from the very beginning, and it's got all kinds of different levels that it takes you through. So it's a Morse code trainer, and then you can also use it as a keyer.
Ah.
I think I don't quote me, but that went for like $5 or $10. It went for a fraction of what it original cost.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep
Yeah, I'm
moving.
sure it cost $100 to begin with.
Yeah.
That's Fred KA5WWW.
All right, there he is. He looks like he's eating a sausage biscuit. I wanted one of those. Making me hungry. Yep, making me hungry. Yeah, I've talked to him quite a bit while we were there. You can see Glenn. Glenn's in the background there, waiting on customers.
Yep.
FT 8900 and you got two 8900s there. Looks like one of them is
Quad
425 and one of them's 375.
So quad band would mean something like maybe 6 meters, and then VHF, and then 220, and then UHF.
No, these will do 10 meters.
I
They
think it's
skip
got
the
10
220 and it does
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
think.
okay.
Yeah, I guess it's 10 meters. What is it? 10 meters. John, do you think, does it have 6 meters? It surely would.
Yeah, it does 6 meters, 2 meters, 4 or 70 centimeters, and 10 meters.
Yeah. Okay, very good. All right. Guys, we're getting close to our prize giveaway, so everybody get in that chat room. Join the chat room, W5KUB. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Meter.
7,000 meter. Yeah.
Ooh. So is it that's 7,000 box. Looks small to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of narrow. I thought it'd be a bigger radio. HF,
Yeah, well, the
VHF,
7,000 is a
that's an
mobile
all
with a
mode.
detachable
Yeah,
faceplate.
that's an all mode radio. So yeah.
Yeah.
We got a power inverter here, 75. I think my friend that went with me to help me set up, I think he might have bought that. 2,500 watt load. Wow, Palstar. 2,500 watt. But you can't key down very long on that sucker. I think it's got a fan in the back too. That helps a lot. KB5 LE. I've got on my closet right now. I've got one of these. I don't know why I won't give it up. That's a nice tuner. I already get it out and hook it up to something.
Hmm.
That's the MFJ. What is it? The 980, 966 or something like that. I can't read it from here. There's your complete 2-meter setup: radio, power supply, antenna. All you need to get started right there. Kenwood. All right, this is getting down toward the end of the day. This is down in Andre's place, I think. Yeah, Andre's table. You can see it starting to thin out there. Andre's got some good deals. Andre's always giving me a good deal, man. He's got the prices marked really, really low, and I usually say, "Will you take X for it?" And he'll say, "Yes." We never had to argue. Andre goes to all these estate sales. He has a business, and John, you know more about him than I do, but you say he's got like a warehouse full of stuff. He just keeps collecting.
Yes. Sometimes he'll invite people up and he has a sale when he just has to get rid of stuff because he doesn't have enough room. But there's pictures of his stuff on the internet. He has shelves of Collins stuff, shelves of the 312B4 station consoles. I'm not going to rattle on, but he has lots of stuff.
Does Andre have a call?
Yes, and I can't call it. I'll have it for you by the time that it's over with. It's
Okay.
an NZ, a 6 call, a 0 call.
Okay, very good. Okay, all right. Maybe look at his page here, see what he's got. Another ICO. It looks like a sweep generator. Cool. Can't see the price on it. Probably $10. There's an old Johnson transmitter. Interesting. Yeah, a little MFJ antenna tuner on top. The test equipment.
Meters.
All right, you see that radio there on the bottom? That's an S53,
Yes.
S53A or so. I bought that.
Oh.
I bought that. He had $40 on it. I said, "Andre, will you take 20?" And he grabbed my $20 bill and said, "It's yours." I should have offered him 10. I should have offered 10. Yeah. Anyway, it was in real good shape. The cabinet is in real good shape. Doesn't really have any scratches or anything on it, and it works. And it's a cool radio. It's a collector's item. I gave 20. I could probably sell that on eBay for maybe 100, 120, real easy. I really don't have a place to put it, but I could not resist the price on it. There's a Lafayette receiver. There's a smaller Heath kit. I think that's called the 200, the SB 200. That's got the 811s or the 572B tubes in it. I think it's got 4 in it. That's a nice little amp. All right. You see that meter, and it has a telephone on top of it? I sold that exact same model. I've had it for years and years and years. I finally put it on eBay, and people just grabbed it instantly. I don't even remember what I sold it for. But it's a military, basically a military vacuum T-voltmeter is what it was. More stuff on Andre's table. Starting to get picked through pretty good by the end of the day. Got stuff down at the bottom under the tables. I started to buy this, guys. This is a sine wave generator or a square wave generator. And I don't need it. But the price was so low, I just almost bought it just to have it. Occasionally, every now and then, I need an audio signal, but I do have equipment that will generate an audio signal. But this is just so nice and laid out. the frequencies and how you can adjust the frequency, and you can select square wave or sine wave. That's pretty cool. All right. All right. We're getting close to the end here, guys. Hang in with us. We got some Vibroplex keys there, the chrome ones. I've got a Vibroplex key like that. My parents bought me 1964. I think it was probably about 30 bucks. I think nowadays it sells for about 200 or something. And somebody audio is feedback. I don't know who it is. But it's not too bad. All right. That meter right there, $10, vacuum tube voltmeter. It's an ICO. I almost bought it just for the price. That thing is so clean. Look at that. And I bought one similar to that. I didn't buy one similar to that. It was given to me at Huntsville for nothing. And I think I gave it to my son Chris when he was here last time. Cool meter. Hammerlin HQ215, cool receiver. And you're looking through the stuff down at the bottom. Last minute, the show's almost over. Looking for last minute deals here. Air Force Mars. This is Arkansas Air Force Mars. Interesting. I was in Mars back 60 years ago, but I finally got out of it. Interesting. All right, let's see what else we got here. Another shot. And all right. This is our last picture, guys, from the Hamfest. Has anybody used one of these? Now, I'm not talking about in a telephone. I'm not talking about in a phone. I'm talking about. Has anybody used one of these on their radio, on their HT? This is a telephone touch-tone pad in a 4-inch square Bakelite or plastic box. You can see the wire coming out the side there. Back in the early 70s, when everybody was getting on 2 meters, we didn't have a touch-tone pad on the front of the handy talkies. It just basically didn't exist back then. And then a lot of people had other older tube radios they converted to 2 meters and so forth. And we actually put a phone patch on the repeater. And this is how we would access the phone patch on the repeater. You would pick up this dial box right here, and you'd hit like a star, and that would trigger the repeater to send out a dial tone. You dial your number. You'd make your call, and then to hang up, you could hit the pound sign, for instance, and that would disconnect your phone line from the repeater. So this is how we did phone patches back in the 70s. We had to find an old phone and take the touch-tone pad out, and there was a little circuit. You could add like one resistor or two and a little 9-volt battery, and you could make this generate the dual tones. And that's how we used to do it. John, did you ever have one of these?
Yes, sir. I had a Drake I had one of those, but I had a Drake TR-22, and I disconnected. It had a little phono jack for the speaker. I disconnected that, and that's where I paralleled the audio over. And I had a Princess trimline phone that I used the touch-tone pad out of it. But it was in the same box as that. Of course, I had the big keypad also, but I had both of them.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, that was the good old days, man. That was the good old days when your 2-meter radio weighed about 50 pounds.
Yeah, Star would bring the dial tone up, and pound would turn it off.
Yeah, back then, man, we did everything. I on my repeater, we even had call in. You could call the repeater number, and every time it would ring, it would send out a tone, and we could hear it ring, and we could actually answer it from our little box right there. And we did a lot of things back then. For instance, the idea was a certain tone. If the repeater went to low power for emergency, the tone would change, and you would know that the repeater's on low power, different things like that. So anyway, we had a lot of fun back then. We have finished reviewing the Huntsville. Why do I say that? The Russellville Hamfest here. Hey, we're getting close to Hambot here giving this thing away. So everybody get ready now. John, any last words about the Hamfest or your club there? Man, we had a great time.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. The attendance was, I'm not making excuses, but the attendance was a little low because of the rain. And that morning it was kind of dreary, but by mid-morning, everything had cleared off. But some people were kind of scared of the rain early in the morning. But I do appreciate everybody coming and buying tickets, and especially staying till the end when we had the drawing. That's all I have to say. Really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you. We had a good time over too. And again, that's my old hometown from college days, and I enjoyed getting back over there and seeing how much it has changed. All right. So, guys, okay, we're getting ready for a prize now. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through a fake run just real quick and show you how Hambot works. So watch this. We're going to do a test prize. I'm going to explain how this is going to work. So, all right. So Hambot's going to pick a name. Now, this is a test prize. Nobody is going to win anything, okay? Test prize. Now, when Hambot starts calling the prize out, if everybody will refrain from talking on the chat room, that'd be great. If Hambot calls your name, all you have to do is hit here or hit a period and hit enter. If you just enter anything, Hambot will see you. Hambot sees you. Now, if there were a million people talking and you still hit a period and enter, Hambot would still see you. He would know. I might miss it looking by my eyes, but so all you got to do is just enter something. I'm here, hello, period, whatever. So here we go. Hambot is going to. He's going to start counting down. He's going to give the person 60 seconds to enter. To say I'm here. If you're not here, Hambot's going to draw another name. So here we go. Hambot, go ahead and start the countdown. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, this is a test prize. Nothing will be awarded. Did we have a winner? Let's see. Do we have a winner? I see. We're looking for K8WX.
The winner is K8WX.
Yeah, but did he answer? Oh, yeah,
not yet.
Let's see. Let's see what it says in the chat room. The chat room went by so fast. I didn't even see a countdown. He got it so fast. Yeah, test prize, nothing. Okay. Yeah, he said evening. Okay. So let's see, we would have had a winner there. Okay. So that's Bob up north, K8WX. You won nothing, Bob. Congratulations. Okay. So it's time now. It's time now for us to give away the handy talkie. So here's what we're going to do. If I can figure this out. Okay. All right, guys. So Hambot is here tonight with us, and we really thank Gigaparts for the Explorer QRZ1 5-watt VHF UHF handheld transceiver we're going to give away tonight. Thank you so much, Gigaparts. You're really a great supporter of our channel. In fact, Gigaparts they've been with us and supporting us probably for 20 to 25 years, I know of, as we used to do all these Hamfest. And, of course, now we're just focusing on our weekly show, but they've been with us for 25 years. So, anyway, we're going to have Hambot try to pick a name. You've got to be in the W5KUB.com chat room for Hambot to pick your name. If you're not in here, you got a minute, go for it now. Go to W5KUB, log in the chat room. All right, so we're going to get ready here, and Hambot in just a second is going to give away the prize. So you guys know how it works. If nobody claims it, Hambot will draw another name, and we'll keep drawing names until we get a winner. So we're going to get started. Hambot, you ready? All right. Do we have a winner already? Do we? Looks
Yes,
like
you
we got a
do.
winner. We look like we got a winner. Yes, I was thinking we are going to go through 3 or 4 people. Man,
Oh,
that was
off to the-
fast. That was fast.
Up here in the
Okay.
corner. Oops.
Let's see what we got here. Let me read it. Everything happened so fast, man. So Hambot asked if WA4YYM Don is with us. That's Papa Doc. He's over in Tennessee somewhere. Are you here to claim it? Okay. And Papa Doc said yes. Now, let me tell you, Don is a lucky guy. I remember he won a CAA 500 antenna analyzer from us at the Huntsville Hamfest a year or 2 ago. Don, congratulations. We'll get that out to you soon. You're the proud winner. You're the proud winner of the Explorer QRZ1 5-watt VHF UHF handheld transceiver from Gigaparts. Thank you, Gigaparts, and congratulations, Don. WA4YYM. Also, hey guys, we've got a promo code there at Gigaparts. I know all you guys buy a lot of your ham gear from Gigaparts, and they give points out to help you out there, I guess, for future purchases. If you'll use the promo code W5KUB, they'll give you double the points on all your purchases. So we thank you. And man, that was you didn't even have a chance to see Hambot work. Man, congratulations. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay, guys, I've got another little thing here to show you just real quick. Our coding is starting to kick in a little bit. Oh, okay. So, I bought a couple of things at the Hamfest. I'm gonna show you what I got. And man, I've been wanting my novice receiver. I wanted my receiver that I had 62 years ago, 1964. I don't know how many years. Is that 62? 63 years ago. No. Brett, you have to do the math. 1964 is how many years ago?
1964 is what, 46 years ago?
How many?
No, 46, right?
No. Do it again. 1964.
No, 40, no, sorry, 42.
No. You're way off, man.
Way
Come
off. Okay.
Can somebody in the chat room tell Brett how many years 1964 was ago, please? Yeah. John says 62, not 42.
62.
Are you still using a slide rule? That's probably what happened there. Yeah. 62 years ago. My radio. I wanted it back. So Martin Q has one, and I was going to try to weasel Martin out of my radio. But at the Russellville Hamfest, guess what? I found it for $10. I didn't care if it worked or not. It was in great shape, outside. So I got it, $10. Now, it didn't work. That was no deal. But I said, this is an old style tube tie. I can fix this thing. So I dug into it. I'm going to show you what I got and what we did. So here we go. Hey guys, just got back from Russellville Hamfest, and I picked me up a couple things. I've been mentioning on there, Martin Jew has my novice receiver, or a like of my novice receiver. And I've been wanting to get that from him. And I was going to go down there and make him give it to me, or I was going to buy it from him or something. Anyway, I found my novice receiver at Russellville, and it's an SX140. Look at this. There it is, right there it is, right there. If I can get my camera on it, I paid $10 for it. This was a cool receiver back then. Audio selectivity, that's the BFO for copying CW, and sideband, RF gain, band selector, 80 through 6 meters, CW sideband, AM, standby, and off. There's your S meter. The nice thing about the receiver, this receiver is ham band only. So look, it actually goes from 3.5 to 4, and 7 to 7.3, and so forth. And the nice thing again, 6 meters. When I was a novice, 62 years ago, you could hold both the novice and tech license at the same time. The tech license would give me 6 meter voice operation, so I could work novice up here in the novice band CW, and I could work voice down here on 6 meters. This thing worked just great for me. And I picked this up for $10. It's in relatively good shape. You can see the case got a little smudge there. I think that probably might even clean off. So the case is in pretty good shape. This is a $10 unit. One of the things, I think it's a non-working unit, but I don't care. I was wanting to get it just for nostalgia. My first radio. You can see if I turn the tuning dial, the dial does not turn, so we'll have to fix that. I turned it on. It's got a little bit of a hum, probably a filter condenser problem, maybe a power supply problem. I'll look at that a little later. Let's look at the back real quick.
No. What tubes does it use?
Take a look at the back of it.
Ah, now we can see.
It has a power transformer in it, which is good. And it's a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tube. I took the screws out, so it's going to come apart here. You can see the front up here, the dial cord. Now the dial cord is off the big wheel, so once I get the dial cord on back, the tuning will work on the front. I noticed it has one number 47 lamp out. I can replace that lamp. I've got those. So it's going to be interesting just to see. It should be pretty simple to fix. All right, let's walk over and look at something else I bought. I don't know why I bought this. Yeah. I don't know why. But I picked up this Helicrafters S53A. It looks like it's in great condition. It looks like it's in really, really pristine condition. The case, I don't really see any scratches or anything on it. And so I think this is non-working. I'll have to take a look at it. Let's look inside and see what it looks like outside and see what it looks like. Kind of neat the way the case just hinges open.
Okay.
It looks like somebody has replaced the filter cup. Yeah, were you had a comment, Brett?
Oh yeah, I can see the two push-pull audio tubes on the right-hand side, and yes, it looks like a new capacitor.
Yeah.
And then
I was lucky on
pretty
this
standard.
I was
yes,
lucky.
and then you can actually see they actually engraved the tube numbers into the chassis there.
Yeah, and actually
6-volt tubes.
Actually, I didn't really have to do anything to it. This one worked from the get-go.
Ah.
My radio, you'll see in a minute what we did to my novice radio. capacitor right here. Looks brand new and shiny. This has got some of the octal tubes in it and the miniature tubes. These are 8-pin octals. 5Y3. That would be the 5Y3 would be the
Oh,
rectifier. that feels a little tube. loose there. That would be
Those
the
are audio
rectifier.
Page, or are they
And,
rectifiers?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, are those push pull
No,
audio
they're
output,
different.
or
They're
are they
different.
rectifiers?
They're different tubes. One of them is the audio output, and the other is the rectifier. The 5Y3 is the rectifier.
Oh, okay.
6K6. I think the 6K6 is an audio output. That's the audio output. And then these are your IFs right here, and the rest are miniature 7-pin. Tuning dial works. And the guy wanted $40 for it. I gave him $20 for it, $20. And I don't know why I bought it. I didn't need it, didn't want it, but I bought it anyway. So we're going to try to repair both of these, probably on different segments of the show. All right, this is my novice radio here. It definitely had several problems. It didn't work. The first thing here you see the dial cord is broken, and I replaced the dial cord. Okay, regarding the SX140 here, my novice receiver, you know, the tuning knob was not tuning the dial here, and we can see why. Here's the main tuning. And if you notice, look at the brand on that tube there. It says Helicrafters. So some of the tubes in there are original tubes here, and we can see. You can see right down here. It's broken. The string is broken. Here it is here. So that's going to go. That's going to go across. It's going to go well under the pulley. It's going to go across right here. And it's going to come back in this little gap down here. It's going to come in the gap right here. You can see it. I don't know. Turn it this way. There you go. And then it will, of course, tie to the spring here to put tension on it. There's the, let me get it. There's the spring right there. So I'm going to have to get the dial cord put back on it and get it calibrated. But that's not going to be any issue there. Now I've got to look at the power supply and see what's going on there. So we know we've got a power supply
component there with the map of Texas.
What was that?
I saw a component there with a map of Texas, and I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. Map of Texas.
Just in your previous view.
Oh, right there, the Texas.
Yeah,
that's a crystal. That's a crystal plugged in. That's for calibrating the band edges. That's a 3,500 kilohertz. So on the front of the radio, you've got a calibrate knob. So you can turn that calibrate knob, and the 3.5 meg ham band, you can calibrate it exactly, 3,500 kilohertz. 7 is 2 times 3.5. So that's calibrate
harmonics. Yeah, so that'll help you adjust your dial.
Yeah, that would help you calibrate each band if you needed to. Any issue there? Now I've got to look at the power supply and see what's going on there. So we know we've got a power supply problem. I've got a little hum. So we're going to check the power supply out. Now, one thing I see already, actually it looks pretty decent for a radio that's probably 65 or 70 years old. One of the things I see right off is this capacitor right here. It's been cut loose. So that's suspicious right there. Either that's bad. I don't know if it's been replaced. I don't see one that's replaced it. Nope, don't see one that's replaced it. Also, I see another thing here. Okay. I suspect these These two capacitors here are probably bad. That's in the power supply. We know this one's disconnected, so we'll have to replace that one. Probably replace that one. All the higher power filter capacitors that are filtering the power probably going to need to be replaced. Also, I don't think this is stock here, or two diodes. I don't have to. These two diodes don't look like they are factory. So we'll probably take a look at that. Might put some new diodes in there, but besides that, well, let's go from there. We'll see what we need to do.
Oh. There are some very large resistors in there, especially right behind the front panel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they make them that big anymore.
Found some capacitors in the. I went through my closet and I found all the caps except one. I ordered it, and it's amazing the new caps. I'm used to 70 years ago caps, how much bigger they were, and I'm gonna show you the difference on a 250 volt capacitor now versus the one that's in here. Closet that I'm gonna replace here. You remember the this yellow cap here is a 10 microfarad 50 volt. I have some brand new 10 microfarad 50 volt. Let me show you the difference, the modern ones versus the old one. There you go. Look at the difference there. There you go.
Are those polarized or not?
What?
Are those polarized or not? It looks like
they're polarized.
Yeah, are the originals polarized?
10 mic right there. I'm sure they are. I'll take a look at it.
It could be the reason for the size difference.
No, they're both polarized. The replacements and the others.
Okay.
So they've got the old ones are marked positive and minus. Yeah.
Okay.
The ones that came out. Yep. Yeah, typically in a power supply they are polarized, whereas they might not be in some of the other circuitry. Here 50 volts, and here are the new 10 mics at 50 volts. So look at the difference there, man. That's amazing. I also have some pullouts that tested good. I think I pulled them out of some board. Now, these caps right here are 40 microfarad. I had some 47 microfarad, and I know in the power supply that wouldn't make any difference, so I put some 47 microfarad in. These are rated at 150, and the 47 microfarads I had pulled out are rated at 400 volts. So they are just, way exceeding the voltage rating of what I needed, but that's what I had. These capacitors here are, let's see, what are those? They are 40 microfarad at 150 volts. Yeah. 40 mic at 150 volts. I've got some 47 microfarads. Yeah, I do need to replace that bumblebee capacitors in here. I've been thinking about that. Quite a difference in size. So there, I'm going to use a 47. I'll replace these two with some 47 microfarads at 400 volts. And I'll be replacing these 10 microfarads down here at 50 volts with the new 10 microfarad 50 volts. Oh. Well, we've got at least got some noise. Still got a lot of problems. Now, so I've got it functioning now. The problem I've got is I've got so much noise. Every switch contact is dirty. I had to clean all the switch contacts, And also the tubes. And this is typically, I remember this from working with my uncle in the TV shop. Those tube pins get to where they either corrode or don't make good connection. And you can wiggle that tube around in the socket, and you can hear terrible, terrible amounts of static. So I actually sprayed some contact cleaner in the tube sockets and put the tubes in there and worked them and wiggled them around and worked them until the noise went away. And once I got all the noise away, the radio started sounding much better. Doesn't appear the VFO is working right. All right, guys, looks like we got it working here. All bands seem working. If you heard the guy say it's howdy doody time, that was 7200. You guys know what frequency it was. I was trying to avoid it. Yeah.
Hell, they should try. Hotel Oscar Charlie. This is KD0KIB. Have copy.
I didn't really know how inferior this radio was compared to what we have today. Now playing with this radio, you know, back when I used it for CW and AM. We weren't on sideband back then, and nowadays you can see tuning in a sideband signal. You have to use a tuning dial to get the right pitch. It doesn't have a lower or upper sideband. It just has a sideband position, and it's just amazing how inferior this radio now seems to me compared to what we have. All right. Got the dial string put on. Let's see. Here we got the dial string put on correctly, where it tunes correctly. We replaced the last capacitor in here today. And probably need to do some alignment on it. But overall, it's working in all bands. Here's what we replaced. All right, here's what we replaced. The radio originally had two terminal lugs, like those for the antenna, and whoever owned this put a end connector on there. I replaced that with a SO231. I replaced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 capacitors here. These were in the power supply. They were pretty bad. And replaced one number 47 lamp to get the front to light up correctly. And found the schematic on the internet. It's got the alignment and everything in it. Tells you all the adjustments and all the alignment. There's the tube pinouts. You got voltage measurements on the tube pinouts. Some troubleshooting, not much. That was very helpful. That dial cord was a little difficult to put on because this area here went down below the chassis, and it had so many parts around it that it was almost difficult or impossible to get the string in there. The manual's pretty good. It lists everything in very good detail. gives you the layout of all the tubes and various things. Tells you about the connections on the back. And there's the radio right there. There's how the antenna used to connect. I don't remember that as using it as a novice, but that's how it used to connect. And there it is. All right, guys. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And
Nope.
we'll get to some of the things that Brett had next week. We've kind of gone over, I think, our time. We went a little over time tonight, but that's okay. And Brett's got some stuff for next week, and hey, I'm going to show you something next week. I'm gonna replace the battery in my smartphone. You know, they say the consumer can't replace the batteries. I'm going to show you how to replace the battery in my Samsung Galaxy S10. That's going to be
I just
fun.
got the battery replaced in my iPhone XS, as a matter of fact.
Did you do it, or did you have someone do it?
I had help.
Did you?
I had
I'm
some
gonna
help.
show you.
Because
I'm
I
gonna show
wasn't
you.
sure how to take an iPhone apart.
Yeah. It cost me $17 to buy the kit and the new high capacity battery. $17 total. And I looked up what it would cost to have some company do it, third party company, and they talked like it could cost anywhere from $80 to maybe $120 to have the battery. Did on the Apple product, do you know what they charge you? You remember?
The local repair shop would have charged me $65,
Okay, 65, yeah. And that included the battery?
including the battery. That was almost worth it, but we wanted to learn how to do it.
Yeah, I got the battery and the kit. The kit came with a suction cup to pull the back off. It came with the new gaskets to go in there. It came with all the little tools, especially it came with the screwdriver you need and so forth. $17 total price on that. And my phone...
you need a screwdriver and a little spudger that opens it up.
Yeah, you got the spongers and several different spongers, and looked like some guitar picks and the little screwdriver. And it is a tiny screwdriver, believe me. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So anyway, we had fun doing it. My phone worked after I finished. I was a little concerned, but it worked. All right, guys. Well, hey, we have completely filled the night with everything here. Looking forward to seeing you here in 2 weeks. We'll be giving away another prize in 2 weeks. If you didn't win tonight, come back in 2 weeks, and maybe you'll win that night. So, anybody, John, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We had fun going through the Hamfest again.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every second of it.
All right, well, very good. We try to have a good time on here. And, guys, you've been listening to and watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, electronics, and shortwave. And you might be out there listening to the show on shortwave, or you may be catching us on YouTube or Facebook or x.com tonight. So send us an email. Let us know if how you ran across us. If you heard the station on shortwave, send us an email to Tom at w5kub.com. Tom at w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button, please. It helps us out a whole lot. Doesn't cost you anything to do that. And we will see you next week. And let's see. John, stick around a second. We'll be right back.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong. every station, from kits and code to satellites. We learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, and there's always something cool and new.